Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the FDT-TV podcast with Mike,
hello,
who's over there, and myself, Ian. We're both on social media properly now, so we'll put proper links in this time. Look at here, maybe there, maybe one down there. That's a job for editing. That'd be fun. I'm not going to touch my face this episode, and Mike's breathing in. So that's all fun. And we're here to talk about the international break, which is why we're both wearing England shirts.
Come on, England!
So that's the episode done. See you next week.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, no, in all fairness, what we're going to do is we're going to split it into a couple of different parts, I think, for this week to try and keep it down. Now we're going to actually discuss the game. There are a lot of stuff that's gone on with a game in Bulgaria, but we're not going to speak about that in a minute. What we're going to do is solely focus on football.
Yes.
And I was going to say fuck the other stuff, but I want to be PG. So, bloop the other stuff. 6-0, Bulgaria. Good result.
It was a cracking result.
What's your thoughts? Or do you want me to ask you things that I've written notes about, and then so I can seamlessly transfer into them?
Yeah, do that.
All right. What did you think of the lineup? The leading question.
I think it was an okay squad.
Okay.
It's nice to see Tyrone Mings make his debut.
Yes.
Harry Kane.
Shouldn't have started.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got a prediction,
Okay.
and I hope I'm wrong. But when we qualify for, is it the World Cup or the Euros?
Euros.
For the Euros, Gareth Southgate is getting sacked for this tournament. Regardless, it's going to go wrong, as it always does. But I think he's originally he was saying, I'm going to go on merit and performance. So he's left Joe Gomez on the bench for 2 matches because he's not playing. Fair enough. He's being kept out by the Liverpool team by Van Dijk and Matip. He's not playing for England. He's on the bench. He can do a job. Harry Winks has played 2 games, I think 2 or 3 games this season. Mm-hmm. One of those was a 7-2 beating by Bayern Munich.
And then the 3-0, I think, for Bournemouth.
So how's he started?
Mm-hmm.
Harry Kane has had a shocker of a season so far.
Yep.
All right, he's had 1 or 2 moments we go, yeah, it looks like Harry Kane. Rashford shouldn't even be anywhere near the squad of Manchester United's form. Same, Harry Maguire is probably one of their better players.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be in the squad because look at Manchester United's form. Pickford, Everton are doing awful. So I think Trippier left Tottenham. So arguably, yes, all right, he's probably doing better at Atletico Madrid, but he's not having a good season. He's keeping Trent Alexander-Arnold out of the squad, which I don't understand.
No.
Abrahams, or Tammy Abraham. Let's call him Abraham. I don't want to call it. Add an S to the end of his name just because I can. I think he should have started. I think Mason Mount should have started. I'm not touching my face. Tomori should have started, and Nick Pope should have started.
I think there could be cases for, I suppose, if you were to speak to Gareth Southgate, and he would be able to justify it in some sort of weird England manager.
Yeah, he's probably got his reasons for it. I understand that. But also, you said you're picking on merit. You haven't picked on merit.
No,
Callum Wilson come on.
Yep.
Hit the post.
But that was
last kick of the game.
Yeah.
But I think I would have rather seen him play instead of Harry Kane. Mm-hmm. Pardon me.
Who do we have out on the right?
Raheem Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
Who I said it's going to be his... He'll come back on top of the world, which he done right. Scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Barkley scored 2 goals. I was a bit apprehensive about him starting.
I thought he actually played really well.
He did. And the other one I thought was a bit odd starting was Tyrone Mings. And the reason I say that is because he's not by any means not a bad defender, but I wouldn't have said he's world class in any sense, and you should be trying to put the best players out there. But he proved me wrong because I think he was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, he was incredible yesterday. I think one of the reasons potentially why that particular lineup was because of the opposition. I think the last time we played them, we stuffed them 4-1, I think.
Right.
So I think potentially there is the whipping boy aspect.
Yep.
Behind the logic, behind the people starting.
Yep.
I think they got the job done for the squad that we had.
Oh yeah, I'd say
obviously.
There were players in there that proved my thoughts wrong, because when I see it, I was like, oh, for God's sake, again. But I always like to be not disappointed. If I'm looking forward to an England game, it goes very wrong. If I'm going, oh, for God's sake, for the first minute, then we do all right. So, swings and roundabouts.
It did actually make me laugh when I was rewatching the first podcast, and it was a bit right at the end, and you were like, oh no, I'm going to watch England, I'm going to be really disappointed. And then you were like, oh no, wait a minute. What is the qualifiers in here? You're like, in that case, we're going to batter them. And I think we had that in both games that we had at the weekend, so the game on Friday against
really disappointed.
And then this game. And I think that's because of the expectation that we were set, looking forward to the game, as you just said, and we lost. And you're like, oh God, it's only Bulgaria or whatever, like the whipping boy of the team. And sure enough, that result did come out.
Yeah. Now, something that I did think about, VAR wasn't present.
Yes.
Which I didn't understand, because I thought that was the big thing by UEFA was VAR. They were the front runners for it. It was in the World Cup. It's been in other things. It's in the Champions League. Not in the qualifier. Don't understand that. I don't know if that's just because of where it was and there's not the technology in there.
That's what I was going to say.
But I think we were lucky that it wasn't there. And the reason I say this, Jordan Henderson, I think it was 6 minutes in, his tackle, he got a yellow card.
Oh, that was
it was like, when he did it, I was like, oh, he's walking here.
Yeah.
And I think VAR probably would have, if it was a Premier League, I think it would have been off.
Yep.
I think the referee was actually quite good with the other stuff that got on, but actually he was fair in decisions as well.
Yep.
And the other one, which I think would have been pulled up by VAR, was Tyrone Mings, where he had his arms around a player and literally swung around and threw him on the floor in a box. You think that would have been a penalty and a yellow card? If there was VAR, they would have picked that up, and so...
I think there was mitigating circumstances which will come on.
Yes, in a special episode, I think.
Yeah.
Goals. Let's talk goals. 6 goals.
Yep.
What was your favourite?
I think for me personally, Marcus Rashford.
Well, the first one.
Yes.
Yep.
That's literally just from a individual. All the other goals were brilliant. They were brilliant team goals. But I think for me that was the standout one. A, because of his current form, and also the fact that he was at such an acute angle and managed to get the goal in, and it was an absolute blistering strike.
Yeah.
For me, that was my favourite goal, purely, as I said, from a selfish
individual. I totally agree. Totally agree. I think Ollie should be taking note for the weekend. He looked a different player playing out the left. He's been playing up as that lone striker, and it's been lifeless for United. Yet he plays on the left for England, and I think that's the best game he's had all season so far.
Yeah.
He was cutting in. The runs he was making were just a different class. You said about the team goals. There was a lot of them. Good passes, good little simple crosses. Just getting the simple things right, which we don't usually do. Do you think that we were made to look better than we were because of how poor their defence was?
Yes.
There were
Short answer, yes. I think the standout goal for that was Raheem Sterling's one, and it was literally passed through in the middle. Raheem Sterling running through ball play through to him, go on and score.
Yeah.
I think that just is the epitome of their
I felt
defending.
I felt sorry for the goalkeeper.
Yep.
Because he did make some good saves. Most of them from Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Who should have had, 4 goals, 5 goals maybe? 1. All right, got a couple of assists. People, Harry Kane got some assists. But he's the main striker.
Mm-hmm.
He had the opportunities against a lesser opposition. It should have been double-figure scoreline.
Yeah.
Well,
we had, as I think you said earlier, there was the 6 goals plus a few opportunities. I think there was Callum Wilson right at the end, which
hit the post.
Jadon Sancho, I think, was another one where he hit it, running through on goal, and ended up hitting it straight at the keeper. I think the intention was to go kind of across at the far post.
Yeah, but it was just at such a speed that yeah. Now, I said earlier on that I don't think Jordan Pickford should have started.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nick Pope should have started. I think he's a better shot stopper. I think he's in better form. But also, I don't ever remember Nick Pope thinking that he's Manuel Neuer from like 5-6 years ago, where he comes out of his box to make tackles and try and play. Pickford was trying to do that, and every time he did it, it was like, it was a wince, because I thought, you're going to concede now, aren't you? Because he didn't look comfortable doing it. He didn't look confident doing it, and everything was just and then he hoofed it. So,
do you think that is just a confidence thing, though? Just bearing in mind how poor Everton have been so far this season.
I've played in goal in football. I've played outfield in football. Both for like school teams, Sunday league teams. I think the pressure is now to play out from the back. The goalkeeper's got to be able to do it.
Yeah.
No, the goalkeeper's number one job is to save the ball going in the net. All right, yes, there's times you've got to come out, you've got to hoof it, you've got to play a little ball. But I think there's so much pressure there, and that's what the top managers want. Klopp wants it, Guardiola wants it. So that's what everyone wants to try and do.
I think
no, forget it. Get the basics right.
Well, I think one of the things that was kind of the biggest signifiers for that over the last 2 seasons is Man City.
Yeah.
Everyone's now trying to do the Man City way. We have been absolutely terrible about playing out from the back.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Personally, it doesn't work for me for my team, but it obviously does it if you've got a decent team behind you, which is crap. So
yeah, was John Stones in the squad? Because he's been playing the last couple of weeks. I think for City, weren't now Laporte's injured. I don't remember.
No, I don't think he was.
That'd been interesting because he likes playing out from the back.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell us. He's going to tell us.
It doesn't take too long.
No. But you say, other than that, I was impressed by us. I don't think we were ever in danger of losing the match.
No.
I think, now I've got a theory, and this is out there for a theory, but I do like a theory. The guy, I don't know his name, who come on for Bulgaria in the second half.
Yes.
With the big wildish Guendouzi David Luiz hair.
Popov.
Was that his name?
Oh, hang on, with the
he had the big hair.
Yeah. I know the one you mean.
Who I think was their best player.
Yeah.
So I've got a theory, because Guendouzi's standout, isn't he? David Luiz, all right, he's not the best, but he scores some bangers. He puts in some banging passes. He's done some amazing runs previously. Big hair. Fellaini for Manchester United, I think he's playing in China now. Big hair, was amazing. Well, I say amazing. He was a unit, and he did the job that he was there to do. Arguably our best player for a couple of years. Who else has got big hair? Andy Carroll, when he plays, has got big hair. Scored some amazing goals when it's all out everywhere.
Why do I feel like you're having a dig at me today? Because I'm not.
I don't want that. No, that's not what I was getting at. But I think you've got to have that like curly, wildish, floppy hair to be a good player. Now. That's if you've got that, I think automatically you're going to do well this year.
Just trying. Oh, what was that guy from Leicester?
Hamza Chowdhury.
Yeah, he's got big hair.
And
so
he puts in some tackles. Oh, he's a great player. So my theory, as now, stands correct.
Why?
Because all those players are banging it.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's my theory. It means nothing. That's just my theory on it.
I like where you're going with it. I wish I could go where you were going with it.
Mate, we're all going down the path. We're all going down the path.
What was your favourite goal from?
Was Rashford's.
It was Rashford's.
Cut in, banged it.
Mm.
It had power. It had determination. I think he was trying to prove a point.
I think that's exactly it, and I think with
as much as I don't particularly like Manchester United, I would rather see him play like that every weekend and score 25 goals a season than see him struggling and getting defeated.
Yeah.
As he has been the last couple of weeks.
I think this is something that we're going to come on to later, but I really do think that for him playing as well as he did yesterday, that can only be a good thing for United come the weekend.
Yeah.
But we'll come
on to that in like part 2.
Yes.
Um,
just very quickly, we can talk about England's game on Friday against the Czech Republic.
I only watched highlights. I'm glad I only watched highlights.
Yeah.
I was watching a ticker as we did, and yeah.
It was a very sloppy game. Luckily, we were still on top of the group after that game.
Yeah.
On goal difference.
Yeah, I don't think we're in danger of not qualifying.
No. Well, we only need a point now from the next lot of qualifiers.
Yeah.
Next month, I believe. Harry Kane with the goal again. Penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a running theme at the moment with him.
Yeah, putting back on corners.
So he's got 20.
Sorry.
Stand out. Yeah, he's scored 28 goals for England now, 9 of which of them have been penalties.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the last few seasons he's been one of the informed strikers of the years or whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously with his current form, do you think we need him, or certainly not us because we're Arsenal and West Ham fans, but do Spurs need to give him something other than penalties to score to try and rebuild his confidence? Because I don't personally think he's at his best at the moment.
No, but I think that's because one VAR is their offsides are getting called now. Some of his plays getting pulled up. I mean, I think he got booked in the game. The ref pulled him up definitely 3 or 4 times for things that he gets away with week in, week out. I think that technology has been his downfall. All right, yeah, he's not. The players around him at Spurs haven't been doing the best to provide him a service. But I think it's fair enough to say I don't think he's as good as Wayne Rooney was at the same age, in the same position.
So
it's not bad, but I just I think if he gets a service at Tottenham and he maybe say free kicks, bang a couple of them. I don't know if he's any good at them, but he should be. He's a professional footballer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think potentially he needs a bit of confidence. I think the assists will provide him that. It's just whether he can carry that on into the weekend. But time will tell.
Yes. And obviously it was a very disappointing game, so they will want to put that result behind them. Which they did.
Yeah, I think there was just. I think part of it was inexperience. Part of it was just basic mistakes, and one of those things. As long as they learn from it, which they seem to do, because they then went on to score 6-0.
Yeah.
I think it's too much to worry about.
No, definitely not.
But should we wrap that up for?
Yes.
All right.
So that was this weekend international roundup.
Yep. Try to keep it short and sweet. But we like to talk.
I think
I like to talk shit. You just listen to it.
I think,
You don't have a choice. But stay part. We've got the weekend's predictions. Little bit of discussion about that coming in part 2, which will either be uploaded on the same day, possibly the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a special on some of the other antics that happened at the weekend, which are much more disappointing. But yeah, so follow us on social media, click subscribe,
smash that like button,
and if we get 10 likes, Mike will do an ice bath next podcast.
Yep.